Good morning, good afternoon, my beloved Bhava babes. How are you? Happy Sunday, happy Easter, which we're going to completely ignore on our broadcast today because we're Bhava. We don't really do that. If you celebrate Easter, I'm thrilled for you. I hope you have an amazing day, an amazing celebration. If you don't, here's to a very happy Sunday. And thank you for being here and being a part of the Bhava Sunday broadcast and cultivating this energy together, this incredible network of powerful juju. These things are great. Good morning, Stella. Nice to see you on here, gorgeous. All right. If you're new here, holla, say hi, let us know so that we can give you a really juicy, yummy, warm welcome. Leave a comment. Let me know you're here. Let me know where you are. Good morning, Samantha. Blessings to us all indeed. Boy, that word blessings just rolled off my tongue today like I've never experienced it before. That was great. Good morning, Sarah. Good afternoon, Ken. Where are you in the world? What time zone are you in? Hi, Kathy. Our beautiful Baba Big Kathy just had a birthday a couple of days ago. Happy birthday, Kathy. I'm so glad you're on here and I got to verbalize that to you, you beautiful human. Good morning, Kira. Kira's here from Washington. Hallelujah. Happy days. Okay. If you're new to the broadcast live, or if you're watching the replay and you're like, who the heck is this chick and what she's all about? What is this Baba thing? We are a digital church. We are here to help you live in partnership with Spirit. We're here to move from fear to love. That's it. We're here to move from fear to love. And in so doing, in moving ourselves from fear to love, we are doing our part to birth this new earth, this new paradigm, this incredible new age. Good morning, Ursula. Nice to see you, darling. So we do that by, I show up here on Sundays and spread the message. We cultivate a community. We come together. We do our channeling. We do our readings. We do our prayer healing. We just get together and get started on a really juicy week. So if you're loving these broadcasts and they're serving you, please share it out with your friends, with family, with who you believe would benefit from these messages every week. It'd be great to just continue to build this community, all right? And build our own, I guess maybe building isn't the right word. The feeling I'm getting is like kind of a mushy, expanding, gooey. Oh, it's like kneading dough. I don't know. That's just what I'm getting. But anyway, that's what we're doing here. That's what the energy's feeling like for me today. So what are we going to do? Here's our format. We're going to go ahead and ground in. Grounding in is really important because you and me, we are getting together and we are opening up to divine spirit. We are bringing through the Almighty, right? We are bringing through God consciousness into our beings. And if we are not grounded fully in the physical and grounded and matched up with the earth energies, it's going to be hard for us to make sense of that and to bring it out and apply it to our lives in a practical way and share it with people in a way that makes sense. So we ground ourselves in, and then I'm going to open us up with a prayer, and then we're going to open up the prayer pot, and that's for prayer healings. At that time, I invite you to share your prayers, share your intentions for yourself, for loved ones, for the collective, for the not so loved ones, for whoever or whatever is on your heart. And then we're going to spend a little time affirming those prayers. And remember, when you leave that comment, you know what we do? We go on these videos that we're interested in, and then we go scouring the comments, right, to see what other people are saying. So every time somebody sees that prayer, sees that intention that you type, that you got out of your body and into the physical, you anchored it and you made it physical, that prayer is going to be affirmed. And prayer is really powerful in this new paradigm, in this incredible shift that we're going through. Speaking from your heart is prayer. Speaking from your heart, dropping it down to your heart is setting that intention. And it will manifest. How it manifests is going to be in the highest good of all. So, it may not be like the way we think it should, but it's ultimately going to be to your highest benefit and most happiest expression, as well as everybody around you, because that's how God works. God doesn't, give you something at the expense of someone else. God manages to spread the love, the goodness, the fulfillment, the peace, the happiness to everybody. So everybody gets what they want. All right. It's not either or, it's and. So after we go ahead and do our prayer, I'm going to go into the message for today, which has been on my tails. On my tails? How many tails do I have? Do I have any tails? Heels. That's the word I'm looking for. It's been on my heels all week. And I just had an interesting conversation this morning that sort of tied it all together. So it's like, okay, that's what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about the hard stuff. We're going to talk about the real stuff. The real stuff on our path. And at that time, I'm opening up, I'm channeling. I have some notes here today. I'm going to be talking. I want to hear your thoughts. I want to hear your feedback. I want to hear what Spirit is giving to you, because when we get together, we expand the message, we expand consciousness, we expand the understanding of divine Spirit, because we all have a piece. Spirit is coming through and using the lens of our perspective, each individual perspective, to create a tapestry of understanding and guidance for us. So it's really important that you share, that you go ahead and share, leave a comment, because again, it's not just for me, the people who are on live, the people who are coming after, scouring the comments, going, what the heck are these people talking about? Whoa, that resonates and makes sense. You have no idea the impact that a sideways comment can be for somebody who needs it at that moment, because that is God coming through you. You are a vessel for divine Spirit. So I want to hear it. We'll bring some comments up. We'll talk about it. We'll expand on it. It'll be really fun. At the end of the broadcast, I'm going to do readings for 5 people. It'll be 5 live viewers. So you do need to be on the live broadcast in order to receive a reading. When I'm ready to open up and channel, I will let you know, and then you can leave a comment, and I'll go with who I'm drawn to energetically today. Now, Spirit is efficient. Spirit is effective. So if you need an answer and you set your intention, even if I am not energetically drawn to you today, Spirit's going to get the message to you. So listen to the other readings. Listen to what's coming through for other people. If it reverberates in your body, if you feel it in your being, this could be goosebumps. This could be a warm sensation. This could be a vibration. If you feel your body light up and resonate with what you hear from Divine Spirit today during the general channeled message, the teaching from Spirit, during the individual channelings, it's for you. And I need you to trust that and take that out with you and embody that and implement that into your life, because you're showing up for Spirit. You take 1 step towards Spirit, Spirit takes 10,000 steps towards you. Okay. The universe, God consciousness is begging to spoil you rotten, is begging to get in there and just love on you. All right. And you're showing up for it and you're open for it. And here it is. Good morning, Melissa. Peace, peace, peace. She says, I like it. I'm into peace. Oh, yes, I'm really into peace. All right, so that's the format. Again, if you're finding value, if you want to share this experience with friends and family, please share it out. Invite people to watch the live broadcast, share the replay. Let's get the word out there. Let's get the love out there. Let's get the love of Divine Spirit, the steps we are taking to move from fear to love. That is the most important thing right now. That is the most important thing, is moving out of fear and into love. That is how we make everything in the world right and true and correct. It's how we cement in this new paradigm. So again, thank you so much for being here. All right, let's go ahead and get started. We're going to ground in together. I want you to close your eyes with me if you're able to, and let's take 3 deep breaths, in through the nose, out through the mouth. Feel all of your energy pool in your root chakra. Maybe it'll feel warm or tingly, or you'll just be aware that it's happening. Take a deep breath in and pull the energy from your root into your heart. Exhale and hold the energy in your heart. Inhale and pull the energy from your heart into your crown. Exhale and hold the energy in your crown. Inhale and pull the energy out of your body. Feel it connect with divine source energy. And with the out breath, pull that energy back into your body and into your heart. Breathe in and hold the energy in your heart. Breathe out and pull the energy down to your root. Breathe in and hold the energy in your root. Breathe out and push the energy down your legs and into your feet. Breathe in and hold the energy in your feet. Breathe out and push the energy into the earth. Feel that energy hook in with the earth's core. And take a deep breath in and pull it back up towards your feet. Exhale. Inhale and feel the energy hit the soles of your feet and move up your legs and pool again in the root chakra and exhale into your root chakra. Okay, join me in this opening prayer today. Thank you, God. Thank you, God. Thank you, God. Thank you for gathering us here today, for opening up this space for your presence, for our connection, for creating this incredible container for divine love and divine healing. Help each and every one of us open up to the message from Divine Spirit. Deliver it to us in a way that we understand it completely as individuals, that we can embody it into our experience, into our being, and bring it out into our lives. And spread the message of divine love and healing that we receive today to everyone who we connect with, to be glorious examples of moving from fear to love. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Now at this time, I'd like to invite you to share your prayers, throw them into the prayer pots, leave a comment. We got to get this out of us. It's great in here. It's fine. But when it's rattling around in here, it's not going very far. Your thoughts are kind of like, two. They just don't go very far. What goes far is dropping your thought, what you're thinking, into your heart, feeling the emotion, the energy, the love in your heart, and then speaking it, creating vibration and frequency, heart frequency, and bringing it out into the collective. Writing it is good too. It's another way to create a vibration, a frequency. Everything is a vibration. And when you speak, you shift, even when you're speaking your thoughts, but really when you speak from the heart, you are fundamentally shifting the vibration, increasing the frequency for miles. That is how powerful you are. So beautiful, Ken. Acceptance, appreciation, and love for all. Let's affirm this prayer with Ken. Acceptance, appreciation, and love for all. That's really beautiful. Acceptance and appreciation. We are all so unique and weird and twisty, and we're like the trees. And when we can get into acceptance of ourselves and appreciation of ourselves and love for ourselves, that will spill out to love for everybody, acceptance, appreciation, and love for all. And that's a happy life, to be in appreciation of everything that is different from you. Thank you very much for that, Ken. Beautiful Stella, praying for surrender and closure and to be open to transformation and rebirth. Let's go ahead and affirm this prayer with Stella, praying for surrender. So with surrender comes closure, and to be open to transformation and rebirth. Here you are, beautiful Stella. Thank you so much. Samantha, praying for mental, physical, and spiritual healing for all those who have wronged me, and most importantly, to those who love me as deeply as I love them. Let's affirm this prayer, just mental, physical, and spiritual healing for all who have come into contact with Samantha, regardless of the situation. Let all the healing and all the love pour out of her that is flowing through from Divine Spirit. Thank you for that, Samantha. Moving from fear to love resonates with me extra today. Love for everybody. That's great, Kira. And you know what? Me too. Thank you for this, Kira. Beautiful Sarah, prayers for relief of tension and conflicting energies in my household. Let's go ahead and affirm this for Sarah. Let's bring in divine healing energy and project it to her household and put a calming swath over everyone and everything. To be able to relax and be and get into acceptance and move into clarity through that place of acceptance. Beautiful Sarah, thank you so much. Okay, prayers are awesome. You know, prayer is something that I can forget to do because I didn't grow up with it. And the more I incorporate prayer into my experience, into my spiritual experience, the more rapidly I see expansion and feel frequency expansion happen. Like, it's just a really potent practice to go into the heart and pray. Kathy, I just want to send up how grateful I am for where I'm at in my life right now. Thank you for this, Kathy. Sharing in that gratitude, affirming that gratitude with you. What an amazing time to be alive, and what an amazing human you are. Okay. All right. Let's shift gears. Who drives a stick shift anymore? Do they even make stick shifts? I think like stick shifts are kind of a big deal in like performance vehicles or something. I'm not sure. I haven't driven a stick shift in a long time, but I enjoyed it. It was fun. It gave you something to do while you're driving. Although eating and driving a stick, that was always really exciting. Some of the cars I drove when I was young. Okay, let's talk about the topic, crises, faith, and the crisis of faith. And this came up earlier this week. Well, it's actually been in my sphere for weeks now, in my own sphere, my own experience. And I had one of my beautiful students and friends showed up with their own experience of like a crisis of faith that sort of brought all this together. And, just that brief conversation, and sort of talking about that and feeling into that experience with this person got me churning and thinking, and brought up it kind of made my own experiences over the last several weeks bubble up to the surface. And I realized that I too have been in what I call a crisis of faith. But I've been through so many of them now that I don't take it too seriously anymore. And I wasn't sure that was necessarily what I was going to talk about. I did a post on it on my personal page. If you follow me there, you might have seen it. Made some people really mad because I captioned it with "religion and spirituality is dumb." And then I went on to talk about this crisis of faith and like what it means to have a crisis of faith. And the reason I'm talking about it now today is because I had a conversation this morning. I'm staying at an Airbnb with a really lovely hostess. And I went out to get my coffee in my groggy state, not really a morning person, which is why we start these things at 11 Pacific time. And we just got to chatting and talking, and she's a devout Catholic, and she was talking about her faith. And people get very excited about their faith and their spirituality when they talk to me. I don't usually lead with, well, here's what I believe. I'm just really interested in listening to people. And I think that open heart and connecting with people on that thread of faith, no matter what the package looks like, what the box is, it's a really powerful experience. It's really potent, and it's a sweet, sweet thing to express and experience. So I was listening to this woman, and during our conversation, it kind of, went all over the place, and it was really fun. And, she expressed that sometimes she has doubts, about her own faith. And this is not a conversation about religion, spirituality, Christianity that we're having right here, or like pagan or new age or whatever it is. I mean, that's for another time, another day. This is a conversation about faith. And what I feel is I don't give a damn what the package looks like. I don't give a damn if like you're Catholic, if you're pagan, if you're new age, if you're spiritual, if you're Mormon, if you're Muslim. I don't care. That's just like adornments, right? It's the faith that really matters. But, she was talking about these little like crises of faith that she would have, where she would have, her doubts, and she'd be like, oh, I should check in and make sure that I'm like, this is correct for me. And that's what made me want to talk about this and sort of build on the post that I made on my personal page, which is, the crisis in our lives drives us to faith generally. Like when life goes tits up, like for me, when my life falls apart, I dive deep into my spiritual faith, and spirit will guide me to containers and boxes and practices and rituals. And I will even get to places sometimes where I'm like, I'm going to church because I need a box. I need something to hang on to. And as we're moving into these containers and into these forms and these formats, and we begin to heal ourselves, and we begin to expand out of our own conditioning, our own beliefs and mental shenanigans, the stuff that keeps us stuck and keeps us outside of faith, then, God will destroy those boxes, because God is not in the box. It's not in the practice. It's not in the ritual. God is not in the church. God is everywhere, everything. It is all that is. It is all the things, all the feelings, everything. It's too massive for us to comprehend. And so we get into our boxes. And what happens is when we get to this point where our frequency expands, our energy expands, our healing becomes such that we no longer fit in the box that was really working for us. And that even includes the Bhava box. Even the Bhava box, all right? Because as much as we at Bhava say we are the dogma of no dogma, it's still a fucking box because humans do boxes. That's what we do. And we try and keep our box really, 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 really big. So that's really, really hard to fill. But if you fill it and you outgrow it, then you have to honor yourself and move past it and expand it. And this is the opportunity when we have these crises. We think it's a crisis of faith, but it's actually a crisis of identity. Because the box, the spiritual box that you're in is what you are identifying with. And when you have that crisis of faith, you think that like, oh, maybe your mind goes a little nuts, goes like, God isn't real, or am I making it all up? You know, and you kind of go, oh, you lose your footing, you lose your balance. And this is normal. This is expected. This is to be celebrated along your spiritual path and your spiritual journey. Because you have healed. You have healed, peeled back a layer, moved past the need for that particular ego identity, which is wrapped up in your spiritual box, in your spiritual container. So what I said to my beautiful student, I said, so let it go. Fuck it. Don't be spiritual. Hang it up. It doesn't matter. When you surrender to the storm that is that crisis, that identity crisis, what you'll find on the other side of that is an expansion into love and a deeper understanding, not an understanding, but an understanding, a knowing, a wisdom around the divine and all that is. And I believe that as humans, we're not designed to really understand it, to really know everything and all the things. We simply don't have the capability for that kind of understanding, for the great all, what is all of creation, because we're here focused at this little tiny point in creation, pushing it along and expanding it. How can we understand something that we're in the process of? It's like not created yet, right? I don't know. As you start to talk about it and think about it, and it gets convoluted really quickly, because then we're bringing the mind into the conversation, and the mind has no place in understanding. It has no place in that knowing, in that wisdom. So anyway, crisis of faith, this is normal and is to be celebrated. And if you're having this experience now, I encourage you to dive into the experience. Like I said, the last few weeks, you've probably noticed I've been having a really hard time showing up. I've been doing like the bare minimum, because it's like this hand has been holding me down. Even last week, I couldn't get on live. I had to all I could do was a written message. And some weeks I haven't been able to because I'm going through a crisis. I am outgrowing my containers. I don't know what the fuck it looks like yet. I'm starting to kind of find my footing again, but it's been weeks of this. And I've been through enough of these now on my own spiritual path that I recognize in myself, like, oh, this is no big deal. Okay, this is what we're doing. We'll just see how this pans out. Now, where I've been suffering is my little ego people pleasing has been throwing conniption fits. I've been getting like the divine hand holding me down and saying, "You will be still. You will rest. You will rest." And my ego's been going, "Oh, but I made promises, but right." And still, the divine says, "Don't care. Don't care. You are here, you are resting." And I am beginning to expand into something new. I will, and you will, find a new container. There may be a brief period there where like you have no box, no container. It's like, whoa, we're here. I've had that experience too. But humans don't stay there, because that's not really the experience we're here for. We're at this point in creation. So you're going to find yourself slipping into another box, sliding into another box, filling another box. And then you will have another crisis of faith, is what you could call it, an expansion, when you have done the work to fill that box with all the gold that is inside you, with all of the yumminess that is inside you. And then you'll put that aside, put that in storage, or pass it on somebody else, and whoosh, move into the next expression, to the next container, to the next creation. And I've seen the other thing that I do want to talk about, though, I have something, a little note here. Like I've just talked about the really juicy aspect of that crisis of faith. It's like the opportunity is to expand into love and consciousness, expand into the next version of you. But there's so much fear and agitation that comes when you have this crisis, when your identity, your spiritual identity is threatened, whether by you or outside sources or whatever. And the ego can really come in. Our fear, the control, we can contract back into fear. And there's a number of different ways that we can do that. One of the ways that I talked about on my post is like, you can find another box. And what I've seen this go both ways. I've seen people expand through it and I've seen people contract. I've seen people decide that spirituality is bullshit and I'm an atheist now. Guess what? That's another box. Your atheism is another belief box, just like your spirituality is a belief box. Both of those, like there's a time and a place for each of those containers, but there is the expansion through it, or your fear can hijack you and you could just move into another box, which is maybe like a new box. And so it feels like this must be the true box. Another way that we can project our fear or contract back into fear is we can hold on really tightly to our box and start making other people wrong. That was something that I saw on the post that I did yesterday, or a couple days ago, about spirituality and the crisis of faith. Is like people can be very married, very committed to their box. And when that box is threatened, they begin to expand out of it. They can contract and hang on tighter. They start making other people wrong. They start saying, you're wrong, you're bad, you're not right, you don't know what you're talking about, that's a wrong way to do it, that's not where God is, Christianity's wrong, Catholicism is wrong, New Age is wrong. You see what I mean? And so you could just really get tight grip on that box. And that is an experience of contracting back into fear. So fear is going to be an experience of your expansion into love, but you need to think of it as like a physical symptom. Like growing pains is the analogy I always use. It's so funny. I use that with my students one-on-one. I'm like, well, did you have growing pains when you were a kid? They're like, no. And I did. See, when my body was growing, my body hurt. Like I had growing pains. My shins hurt, my legs hurt. And most people don't have that, turns out. But there are children who have growing pains when their body is expanding. And so this fear that you're feeling as you are breaking out of an identity, breaking out of a spiritual box, expanding into something new, something unknown to you before, it's a physical symptom. You have to not take it seriously. And that's why I didn't have like total freakouts when I've been going through these last few weeks, my own crisis of faith, my own identity, breaking out of my own identity that I had created for myself, is because I have done this enough times and taken myself so seriously and contracted back in and hurled it out and freaked out and flipped out and gone the hard way, expanding through, that I just went, oh, this is uncomfortable, but that's okay. I know I've done this. This is just a physical symptom, This fear is a physical symptom of my expansion. And, sometimes it'll be hard to like keep that mind frame, and that's okay. You do your best. You show up every day and you be present and you just move through it. So it's, and the other thing that I've noticed is like another part of this conversation over the last few weeks is I'm not the only one who's been experiencing an outgrowing of my modalities, my spiritual modalities, my spiritual boxes and containers. I'm noticing it among my peers as well. People are starting to kind of go, I'm actually seeing it go both ways. People are starting to go, oh, okay, this isn't it anymore. And then I've seen other people go, oh, this isn't it anymore. And they are clamping down. There's been sort of this like rush of people doing a hard shift and grabbing hold of religion again as a way to like their box, what they're resonating with. And I can't know what each individual's experiences. To me, it seems like that might be a box hopping, finding something that feels safe. Joanne left a comment that said your box is safe. I think that's absolutely it. When we feel that fear, we take our fear seriously. We take it personally. We think it means something, but the fear doesn't mean a fucking thing. The fear is a physical symptom of you expanding into new energy because you've never experienced it before. When your legs grow longer, you haven't experienced it before. There's pain there. There was for me anyway. Who had growing pains? I got to know, how many of us had growing pains when you were a kid? Did I like timeline hop and that's not a thing? Like, that's what I want to know. So yeah, Joanne, it's like, is the box is safe? That's a part of it. That is it right there. It's fear. How can I avoid my own fear? But the way to move from fear to love is to move through the fear, is to walk step by step, day by day, moment by moment, be fucking terrified and do it anyway. Sit with it anyway. Don't run from the fear. Okay, beautiful Ken. God will always be free and always be there, everywhere, changing, expanding. God will not abandon you because God's all about love. Yeah, we abandon God. God doesn't abandon us because God is love. God is everything. God is not this separate entity from us. We are God. God is. It's impossible, I think, for us to really hang on to. But if you get out of your head into your heart for a moment, and what I like to do is I like to put my hands out and ask to physically feel. Physically, to like feel it. There's a net. There's like these cosmic veins running through everything that we don't see, but you can just touch it. You can feel it. And for me, it gives my body almost an electric jolt. Like that is the everything. And when you tap into that, when you really allow yourself to just take a moment and tap into that, you're back on track. You're guided. You're moved. Your fear dissolves and dissipates. That's where the love is. That's where God is. Beautiful. Okay, Ursula had growing pains. Thank you, darling. Somebody did. And Sarah had it. Okay, so you guys are going to get these you're going to get that in a comparison. Joanne says mindful. Yeah, that's it right there. Mindful presence, being here in the moment, being with the fear, recognizing the fear is only physical. Fear is only physical. Samantha, I totally had tons of growing pains now in my life. The spiritual growing pains are those and the best, but the hardest to move through. Love is everything. God is love. Love is amazing. And the answer to all fear and pains. That's it. And it's the mind and the ego doing its freakouts that keeps us out of that experience. But the moment we become present, we have found God. The moment we are present, we are in line with God. We are face to face in it. We are God. All right, beauties, let's go ahead and shift gears. Apparently, I love that phrase. I realize I use it all the freaking time. Shake things up a bit, Ingrid. Okay, readings. Let's do some channeling. I am pulling in my spirit guide. Thank you, Mons. Now, my spirit guide, let me talk a little bit about spirit guides. It's funny because like I get a lot of like people really like, I want to know who my spirit guide is. I want to know my spirit guide. And they kind of latch onto that, right? There's a box. My spirit guide is a box for me. Okay. My spirit guide, I call my spirit guide my user-friendly interface with the divine. It has been a reliable container for me to pull through divine truth, divine messages, and divine healing. All right. And so you have to, and my box still works for me. My spirit guide box works for me. I don't use it as often as I did, but it still really works for me. And when I'm on like a live stream like this, and I have a little bit of nervousness and I have a little bit like my head's kind of go, whoa, this is like, feels like high stakes. My ego's coming in. I can move into the container of my spirit guide and have a conversation. Now, is my spirit guide real? Yes. Is he not real? Yes. Okay. He's both real and not real. And again, I don't have to know. Like, I don't have to know the details or have it all figured out. I just know that this is God consciousness working for me right now. So we're going to pull it through. His name is Mons, and I got that from a Ouija board. When I first connected with him, I couldn't get his name because I wasn't as clairaudient at the time. And I got a Ouija board out and I did a couple of them, and M-O-N-Z, M-O-N-Z, M-O-N-Z. I did it like 4 times. I was like, okay, that's the name then. I Googled it thinking maybe it would mean something amazing. It didn't, but I like it. So, all right. So we're going to go ahead and do this. We're going to do 5. And again, remember, if I don't get you directly, then pay attention to, there's somebody in the house, hope they don't come out. Then pay attention to what I'm bringing through, because spirit is efficient. Spirit is efficient. Spirit is efficient. Okay, Ursula, spirit has a message. I'd appreciate it. All right, beautiful. Let's feel into your, okay, feel a lot of energy in the head and the heart and the throat. And I'm seeing an image of a baby. What is that? I'm kind of getting this like rocking image. Okay, so I feel like what I'm getting is you really need to take care of yourself. You have a lot of energy in your head, which means that you're in your head a lot. And the exercise that I use to get out of my head is I take the energy in my head and I drop it all the way down my chakras with each breath. With each breath, drop it down to the throat, then down to the heart, then down to the power center, down and down and down and down. And that really helps redistribute the energy. And then you can really get present in your body. I'm still seeing this image of like holding a baby. And I feel like there's some nurturing that needs to happen in your household between you and another person, and especially starting with you, like really nurturing. Try and come with everything you're doing this week, come at it from the most nurturing place you can muster. However, as much nurturing as you can. It feels like that's going to really get you through kind of a difficult period that you're in right now, a difficult time. I'm really feeling it in the heart and the power center. You have a lot of love. You're really trying. And I feel like you just need to come at it with as much nurturing as you can. This isn't the time for like tough love is what I'm getting for yourself or for other people. Coming from a deep place of nurturing is going to really, really be helpful. And I feel the throat, and I feel like communicating, nurturing with your words is going to be really powerful and really potent in this experience. Okay. Okay, beautiful Stella. What do we got here? Reading number 2. Okay, so what I'm getting for you is stillness, is to really practice and cultivate stillness this week. I'm getting this real stillness in the heart. Stillness is going to bring clarity to you. And it's clarity that you are ready for and is like working on. It's trying to get to you. And for you, really carving out time and cultivating stillness. And I'm really feeling stillness of the heart, is what Spirit is saying. Stillness in the heart, stillness in the heart, stillness in the heart. Walking in nature could be helpful to you. It doesn't really matter how you get there, but just set your intention and make it a point to, throughout the day, what am I doing? Oh, I'm cultivating stillness. That's right. And you can take a minute and just go into your heart, be present. That presence in your heart, focusing on your heart, like focusing your mind and attention on your heart, is going to cultivate that stillness. And that is where clarity is going to arrive for you. Okay, beautiful. Kira, trust what's on the other side and feel it always. Yeah, exactly. We don't have to know. We don't have to know. That's what Samantha said. We don't need to know. We're not capable of knowing. We're not capable of it, is what Spirit tells me. It's like it would like blow us up. And we don't need to know, because that's not what we're here for. This point in creation, right? This point in creation. Okay. Looks like that's it for reading requests. That's fine. Okay. Then we're doing what we're doing. It's all perfect. Thank you so very much for showing up and being a part of this collective, a part of this community. I love you, my beautiful Bhava babes. Again, if you found great value in the message today, share this out with your friends and with your family, with people who you think would benefit from this experience. And then I would very much like to, lost my train of thought because Sarah came in and wants a message. Okay, wait, we should. God, my stomach is growling. I'm wondering if you guys can hear it, because I have this killer microphone on. My stomach's all growling, and I'm like, oh, I wonder if they can hear that. Tell me if you can hear my stomach growling. That'd be really interesting to know, like the quality of this microphone. Okay. Sarah. So yeah, I'm getting a lot in the throat, and especially the back of the neck and the shoulders. I'm getting a lot of like tension. I feel like my neck is frozen, is what it feels like to me. When you wake up with a frozen neck, oh my God, I hate that. Okay, when I wake up with a frozen neck, I know I am living way out of alignment, like way out of alignment. That's my big tell, my physical tell, that I am living out of alignment, that I am not following my intended path. That nature walk is going to be really good for you, but also for you, I feel like you feel really stuck right now. I feel a lot of energy in the head and the throat, and that frozen throat, like you feel stuck. You can't figure a way out of your situation, and it's not for you to figure out. Go on that nature walk. That feels really good if that resonated with you, and then drop into your body, relax your neck, relax your shoulders, go into your heart, get into your body. Clarity doesn't come from thinking about things. Clarity doesn't come from trying to figure it out. It comes from being in the moment and being in your body. You're going to get that clarity, but Spirit says it's going to be a couple of days, because you're just going to take that long to recalibrate your energy at this point, because you're so kind of locked in, like really suffering in this misalignment. So you really need to take the next couple of days to get into deep self-care, deep presence, walking, getting away, getting alone time is going to be really important for you. It's going to take a little while to untangle that energy, because you're holding an extraordinary amount of energy that is not yours, and really you're turned squarely towards what is not in alignment for you, what is not what you want, is what I'm getting. And you're going to have to take a little time to turn back towards what it is you really want with your heart, not with your head, with your heart. Just because you can't figure a way out does not mean there's not a way out. What did I say earlier? In prayer, God will show up and will give you what you want and what everybody else wants. Because just because you can't see a way for it to happen doesn't mean that there's not a way for it to happen. I promise you, I have experienced this firsthand in the most miraculous and crazy ways. All right. Okay, my beautiful. Thank you so much. It's been such a pleasure to be able to connect with all of you. And again, share it out. If you'd like to leave a donation and support the cause, the link is in the description of the video. You can do a one-time donation or set up a monthly one. Any little bit is very helpful and so much appreciated. So thank you, and I love you, and I will see you next week, my loves.